So recently I managed to catch up to the One Punch Man manga, and let me tell you, it is easily one of the best manga I've ever read. I mean, this guy Saitama, he snows on the planet Saturn. He didn't punch it, no, he snows on it. And he blew it away like it's nothing. And this is just one of the many crazy things in this manga. I mean, the heroes are great, the fights are amazing, and the monsters are just incredible. They are my favorite part in this manga. And speaking of monsters, in the world of One Punch Man, they are ranked in a threat level system. So in this video, I will be ranking the bosses of Elden Ring using this threat level system. So how does this threat level works? Well, according to the wiki, a wolf threat level is any potential threat that poses a danger to an unknown degree. A tiger is any threat to a large number of people. A demon is any threat to a city and its people. A dragon is any threat to multiple cities. And God is a threat endangering the survival of the human race. But since the world of Elden Ring has only a few cities and they are not as large as our cities, I will be using a different measuring system. A wolf requires 2 soldiers to beat. A tiger, a very well-trained knight, or maybe 2 knights to beat. A demon can take a small battalion to beat. A dragon will need an entire army to beat. And a god cannot be beaten except by another god or a demigod. And that's my measuring for them. Basically, expect a lot of ass pulls in this video. Also, before we begin, since there's more than 100 bosses in this game, I'm only going to rank the bosses that have a demon threat level and above. If the boss you wanted to hear about isn't mentioned, well, it probably is a weakling of a tiger level or below. So without further ado, let's begin. Whoa. Did you just put the cemetery shade as a demon level? Well, before you get mad at me, please listen. In the One Punch Man manga, there were 2 monsters that basically had the same ability as the cemetery shade. They were fast as fuck, and they had 2 blades, 1 blade in each hand. So basically, the cemetery shade is a demon level. Also, he's an absolute beast. Like, he can wreck you immediately if you fought him. I was a bit conflicted on the Crucible Knights, but then I remembered that they are Godfrey's boys, and that they are strong as shit, and that there are only 13 of them. So there are 13 of them, yet they were this formidable force. So yeah, I guess they can take an entire battalion and deserve the demon spot. What? You expect me to explain why this is here? The word demon is in his name. It's the Asylum Demon. No matter how hard FromSoft try to rebrand it as the Earth Tree Avatar, it's still the Asylum Demon. But it's a very strong version of the Asylum Demon. It has homing missiles, holy explosions, it can sit on the entire battalion and just fart gold at them. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, it's a strong boss. The only black knife that will be on this list is Electro, and I think that she is the weakest amongst the demon class. I mean, she is strong, but still not that strong. She can turn invisible, which is a plus. She can use Destined Death, and she has that one attack where Destined Death just kinda explodes and slashes around. And that's it. Other than that, I think she's the weakest in the demon class. I mean, look at him. Balls is huge, pause, and Balls is big and strong, pause again, and Balls can basically destroy everything and blow shit up with his big, thick sword, pause for the third time. So yeah, I think Balls is very deserving to be on this list. And get your mind out of the gutter, you dirty bastards. The Bloodhound Knights may look weak, but they are actually really strong. They can move very fast, cause bleed, and do a lot of damage. So they deserve to be on the demon list and not below. Also, there was a monster that kinda resembled the Bloodhound Knights in terms of how fast and how slicey he is. So yeah, he is a demon. I'm not gonna talk much about these guys because a much stronger version of them is coming up soon. But just know that they deserve to be on this list. Except the one in Limgrave and I think the one in Liurnia are weak. But the others are very strong. I was tempted to put this fucker in the dragon list. Because look at him. He's just a dragon without arms. I mean, he has arms. But he has no legs or even a wing. However, I decided against it because he's not that strong and I hate him and I wouldn't give him the honor of being a dragon. Rodigan's Red Wolf may look like a wolf, but in reality, he's a demon, because he's always on demon time. Always. I mean, this guy can use spells, really agile, extremely big for a wolf, and can summon a blade and slice it around. He may have low HP, but still, on the DPS, he's very strong, and deserves to be a demon. You might be wondering, why does this guy make it to the list, but the Knights Cavalry and the 3 Sentinels don't make it? Well, because the Knights Cavalry just suck. If you kill their horses, they are one of the weakest enemies in the game. And the 3 Sentinels are just the Knights Cavalry, but you can't knock them down and they have shield. A very strong shield at that, but still. However, this guy, I'm sure that if you can knock him down, he will still be challenging. Just look at this hammer. If I was in an army or a battalion and I saw this guy in front of me, I'm going to the other side. I'm not fighting him. I'm deserting. You can kill me, at least my family will have a body to recover. But if I fought this guy, he'll either burn me, electrocute me and make my eyes pop off their sockets, or just squash me and turn me into a pulp. So yeah, this guy is really strong and deserves to be here. And I mean the Halig Tree Loretta, not the Manor Loretta. Because if you fought her, you'll know how strong she is. Like, I'm sure that she can destroy an entire battalion on her own. She will just snipe them with her bow and that's it. Or slice all of their heads off with her glaive. Before you dislike the video, hear me out. This guy can summon the dead over and over and over. He can summon giant skeletons that shoot stuff from their eyes. And he can teleport away whenever he's in danger. Also, he has some control over water or ethereal water, I'm not sure. But he's kind of a big deal, you know, like he's strong. Honestly, you are better and stronger than me if you were walking with your comrades and this thing appeared in front of you and you decided to fight him. Because I know that I'm running away, I'm not fighting this thing. He can kill you with smoke alone, and I don't mean pollution, no, he will impale you with smoke. And he's very big and disgusting and can spit, I don't know, disgusting shit at you. So yeah, he definitely deserves to be a demon. The Sanguine Noble is my favorite enemy in Elden Ring, so of course I had to put him on this list. However, he's also very strong. In the One Punch Man manga, there was a hero, I think he was an A-class hero, that fought in the same way the Sanguine Noble did, with a rapier and in a fancy way. But I'm pretty sure that the Sanguine Noble would beat the shit out of this hero. Because he's really strong, he's very skillful with his sword, he has these throwing daggers, and he has control of blood with his area of denial attack that can bleed you if you stand on it. And he can probably teleport through blood. So yeah, he's really strong, and he also looks like a demon to begin with. No matter how hard they are in the game, or how strong their attacks are, still, their entire order got destroyed by a single warrior. So yeah, I doubt they can take an entire army, or even take a real god, not just a god in name, no, but a real actual god. So yeah, if you have a battalion, just give one of your archers a sleep arrow and put them to sleep, then decapitate them. It's that simple. There's a case to be made for the Spirit Caller snail. Because you won't be fighting the snail itself, you will fight its summons. And the summons are really strong. The Crucible Knights, which are demon level, and the Godskins, which are also demon level, and the Crystallians, but we don't worry about the Crystallians. Other than that, they are very weak. So if you can get to them, you can kill them and they are below wolf. If you can't get to them, then they are a demon. Loom bears definitely deserve to be on this list. I mean, they are the strongest wildlife I've ever seen in a video game. Also, in the One Punch Man manga, there was a monster that's like a hedgehog that wants free hugs or something. Yeah, and that monster was a demon level. So, the lone bear, which can destroy buildings, strike things and smash them around, and also can hug, definitely deserves to be here, if not higher. Yeah, good luck taking care of this guy with your buddy, because it ain't happening. Even if you were both knights, you won't beat him. In order to beat this guy, you will need one soldier or a knight for each hand. So basically, you need a shitload of soldiers. The Regal Spirit may look weak, but when you think about it, it's really strong and dangerous. Like this guy can jump through the air, absorb the life force around him, and appear from the inside of living creatures. Maybe ghosts is more accurate, but let's say living creatures. Like imagine if you are fighting this guy with your dog companion and he just decided to appear from the inside of your dog and it just explodes in blood and guts and blood and guts. Yeah, this got a bit darker than I hoped. The title card may have said the Onyx and the Alabaster Lords, but in reality, I'm only talking about one of them. And I mean the one that can summon the meteorites. I don't know which one, but that is the one that is a demon level. The other one is a pussy ass bitch, so we don't talk about him. Every time I fight the Misbegotten Crusader, the first thing that comes to my mind is when Optimus Prime decapitated a bunch of robots with one swing. Because look at this guy. You can't tell me that with his lunge he won't cut a man in half, even if he was in full armor. He also has an AoE attack, ranged attacks, and he turns into a demon when he roars. So yeah, I think he deserves to be on this list. You can easily consider the golems to be a dragon level threat. Because they breathe fire, they have giant weapons, they are extremely big, and they are made of stones. However, they have a weak spot. And that is that if you hit them enough, they will fall down. So basically, you cause them to malfunction. And just destroy them that way. So yeah, they can't really take an entire army. So let's see why these guys deserve to be on this list. It's not like I need to explain it because it's pretty obvious, but I know that some people hate them and think they are weak and just a waste of time. Firstly, they are made of stone. Secondly, they are huge and have huge weapons. Thirdly, they have this annoying poison wave attack. Fourthly, I think fourthly is a word. Anyway, they control the air somehow. I'm not sure how it works. And fifthly, they have control over fire like the perfumers. And sixthly, they have control, the Black Blade Kindred versions of them have control over death and death. So yeah. Oh, they can also fly somehow, even though they are made of stone. So yeah, I think it's very obvious why they are here, even though they are annoying and I hate them. I'm sure that if this guy was in the One Punch Man manga, he will be wielding 2 swords instead of 1. But in reality, he doesn't need 2, he only needs 1. And even 1 is overdoing it because he is still a demon. Like he has insane damage and high range, and I think he can teleport, or maybe the bell-bearing hunters are just different from Elmar, I'm not sure. But anyway, he is strong as fuck and deserves to be on this list. Oh, and I forgot, he has AoE attacks with his shield. So yeah, he can do everything. Both Commander Nayal and O'Neill deserve to be on this list. First, O'Neill, he can summon a shit ton of soldiers and knights, so he can definitely fight a battalion. Also, his wind and drought attacks are really strong. Then there is Nayal, who is also on demon time, because that leg is insane. It can destroy, I don't know what it can destroy, but it can wreck shit. So yeah, and he also can summon, and he can use wind. So yeah, they are demons, if not higher, but obviously they are not higher because they are old and weak physically. And now I'm just babbling. Let's go to the next entry. I was tempted to put the Falling Star Beasts in the dragon territory, but I decided against it. Because I still think that you can take them on. However, they are on the tippity top of the demon list. Because they are strong as shit. They have long tails that they can slash and swipe around. They control gravity and debris. They can fling themselves around with their thick hide, which is honestly just stone, not hide. And the full-grown virgin has a laser beam. So yeah, a laser beam that can one-shot you. I got one-shotted multiple times because of the stupid hitbox. So yeah, they are definitely the strongest demon. Of course, we will start the dragon threat level with the basic dragons, and there's a lot of them. And what is there to say about dragons? They are dragons, so they deserve to be on the dragon threat level. They can breathe fire or magic or ice, and they are huge and can fly and do physical attacks with their tails or with their horns. And Borealis of the Freezing Mist, what a cool name, man, can scream and freeze shit around him. And Adula has a sword, a fucking magic sword. And Ixyx, or whatever you wanna call him, can spew rot from his mouth or with his stomps. And Greyal is huge as shit. Honestly, if it can move, maybe it's a god, I'm not sure. But it can scream and frenzy all the dragons around it. And the others are just basic. So yeah, dragons are the beginning of the dragon threat level. Magma worms are like dragons, but they can stand on their hind legs like humans. They can use swords, and I mean big ass swords, and they spew lava, and they have really thick hides. Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if a sword gets broken on their hides. Also, Theodorix is strong as shit. Honestly, it wouldn't be a shocking thing if he can take an S-class hero with one swing, because that's my experience with him. But I'm not here to talk about Theodorix. The only downside to the magma worms is the fact that they can't fly, and that's it. This is what I meant when I said early on that I'm not gonna talk much about the death birds, because the deathrite birds are the ones that deserve to be talked about. These guys have the full kit when it comes to attacks. They have ranged attacks, they have explosions, they have melee attacks, they have grab attacks, they have everything. Everything. Hell, they can shoot spears from their wings, which is broken in the least. Like, I honestly believe if these guys fought with a dragon, or even an ancient dragon, they will win, even though they are very small in comparison. They also control Ghost Flame, which I'm not sure if it's much stronger than regular Flame, but it's something unique for them. The Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella. I like to think that if this guy and the basic dragon fought, this guy will open the mouth of the dragon and splits it in half, just break its jaws open. And then Fort Sax appears and pins this guy with his hands and burns him alive. Anyway, this guy is just stronger than basic dragons. That's something I wholeheartedly believe. because he has lightning, he has fucking hands like a human, and he has stone scales, I think. I'm not sure, but he looks like he has them. Contrary to her difficulty as a boss, Renala is really strong, like she's easily a dragon. Because she's the head of the Magic Academy, she has a bazillion spells, and unlike other bosses who teleport around like pussies, she decided to teleport us to her own dimension, which is a Giga Chat move. Also, she can summon Bloodhound Knights and Giants, who are demon threat levels, and she can summon a dragon. No, I didn't put Morgoth/Margit. Let's just call him Morgoth in the dragon threat level because he's my favorite boss. I put him here because we know for a fact that he was leading the charge as the first defense of Lindale. I'm not sure if he was leading it, but he was there. And he managed to beat the ever-living shit out of many knights. Hell, he beat them so hard they started following him and became his shadow. Also, on top of that, he has his Gilgamesh ability like the one from Fate Zero, where he summons weapons at will. And he has the diarrhea attack, and he's really skilled, and he's an omen. So yeah, he's really strong. Should I put Morg in the god threat level instead of the dragon one? I mean, he is in contact with the Formless Mother, and he uses her abilities pretty freely, like there is no setback for when he uses it. Unlike when Morgoth uses his Omen abilities. Also, the ability to cause hemorrhoid to anyone by just spraying your blood all over them is pretty strong. Hell, he doesn't even need to spray his blood. He can just stab the sky and you will bleed. Like imagine if you were an army and this guy appeared in front of you and just started nihil, and all of your comrades just started bleeding from their eyes and ears and mouths and asses and everywhere. Just because he is called the God-devouring serpent doesn't mean that he actually is a god. I mean, he is really strong and his destructive power is incredible. But I honestly don't think that he poses a threat to the survival of humanity or anything that does anything to the human race. Maybe a country, but not the entire human race. So yeah, he is really strong, but when they say God devouring, I think they are talking about a regular schmuck god. Like he won't be devouring the Elden Beast, for example. So... Not gonna lie, I was contemplating putting Godric as a god threat level or even higher. Because, yeah, he is weak, but when you think about it, he's really broken. Like, this guy just put his hand inside the head of a dragon, and that's all he needed. He didn't need a surgery, he didn't need anything else to start controlling it like it's a part of his body. He started using its fire, its jaws, its everything. So imagine if he found the head of Placidusax or, I don't know, Gransax. He can't control Gransax. But imagine if he found Placidusax or any other body part of any other boss. He'll be way stronger than we thought. Now, if we were to go with the comments of Alexander when he said he was practically a god, this guy would be a god threat level. However, If the fire giants were gods, then how were they wiped out by the Golden Order? Now, make no mistake, just because they aren't gods, that doesn't mean that they are weak. They are high dragon level, at least. Because look at these guys, they breathe fire, they shoot fire, they make fire waves, they are big as shit, and they use weapons. I mean, this guy uses a plate, but I'm sure the others had weapons. So yeah, these guys, high dragon level. If Estelle appeared in Bloodborne, he'd easily be considered a god. However, he decided to debut in the wrong game. But that doesn't change the fact that he is still a high dragon level and very, very dangerous and strong. Like, we know for a fact that this guy destroyed an entire city and took their night sky, whatever that means, but I'm sure it's a big deal. He also can teleport through black holes, have control over gravity, and can summon multiple versions of him and summon meteorites. So yeah, Estelle is one of the highest dragon levels. Probably the highest. Continuing on the theme of dragons, and these two are the last dragons on this list, hint hint, Lanciax and Fortisax. They are ancient dragons. They have control over lightning, and they can just summon it and use it as weapons. Lanciax uses it as a glaive, even though it looks like a sword, a curved sword at that. And Fortisax uses it as a spear. And they can breathe fire, and they are made of stone because they are ancient dragons, so they are immortals basically. And Fortisax can use death to his advantage. So if you get hit by his lightning, you will die. Not by shock, but by impalement. And they are huge, etc, etc. The usual dragon stuff. So yeah, dragons, they are strong. Even the world of One Punch Man. If you put them in there, they will wreck shit. We'll start with Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Now, does he have an ability that makes him really, really dangerous? No. Does he pose a threat to the survival of the human race? Once again, no. So why the fuck is he here, I hear you asking, my dear viewer? Well, he has the word God in his name, so he deserves to be here. I mean, joking aside, he is strong as shit. And also, I believe that if he fought an actual god, he will probably manage to beat them. Also, he is the first Elden Lord, so he absolutely deserves to be here. Dragon Lord Placidusax. Do I really have to list all of his abilities and why I consider him a god threat level? I mean, this guy have actual nukes, like he can nuke the map, and he can summon lightning by just screaming, and not the weak lightning like Fortisax and Lanceax, no, but big and strong ones. Also, I used to think that he teleports away, but no. When I thought about it much more deeply, this guy controls time to disappear and appear again. So how can you stop a creature that controls time? You can't, unless you are fast as shit, or unless if you are a tarnished. Without Malekith, death in the lands between wouldn't exist, because he sealed the rune of death inside his blade, which he sealed inside his body. Also, we know for a fact that he destroyed the Godskin movement on his own. And like I said earlier, the Godskins are a bunch of demons. Also, we know that demigods like Melania and Radahn and the others were scared shitless of him. So basically, he is the god of death in the lands between, even though he's just a dog. This guy conquered the fucking stars. He didn't just conquer the world and pose a threat to humanity, no. He posed a threat to the fucking aliens. That's how strong he is. So how can you convince me that he wouldn't pose a threat to humanity? I mean, he has a good heart, but in an alternate timeline or dimension, this guy would be evil and he will conquer the world. Like, what is there more to say? There's nothing else to say about him. He is cool and strong, and you know that he is cool and strong. Hell, maybe he didn't conquer the earth because there are horses and he loves them. Melania is a boss that is confirmed in the lore and gameplay to have posed a threat to the survival of the human race and considered a god. I mean, this bitch didn't only poison Radahn, no, she decided to poison Caelid with him. And Caelid is considered a continent, or a mini-continent. Not only that, but she also deformed all life beings in there. There are no citizens or commoners living there, except Gowri, which is a fucking insect and a follower of her, and Millicent, which is her daughter. Other than that, there are only the Red Mane Knights. Also, in the gameplay and the boss fight, she is called the Goddess of Rot, and she is in contact with the outer god of Rot. So yeah, she absolutely deserves to be here. Radagon is Marika and Marika is a god, so by default he should be on this list. Also, he has the full support of the Greater Will or the Elden Beast or the Two Fingers or whatever it is. So, having the support of an actual, real god, and I mean the goddess of gods, makes him a god. Also, he can teleport and uses lightning beams or gold beams and explosions. He's really cool, and I doubt that an A-class hero could beat him, or that he can be beaten by an actual army. It's the Elden Beast. I don't really need to say anything other than that. It's basically the embodiment of God in Elden Ring. So yeah, Elden Beast obviously deserves to be on the God threat level. And for our final and surprising entry, we have the Mimic Tier. Yes, you heard me right. The Mimic Tier is a God threat level. In the One Punch Man manga, there was a character, spoiler alert by the way, there was a character called Garo. And this Garo was the main antagonist of an entire arc. And he had the ability to copy, or let's say mimic, the abilities of other heroes and monsters. You can't really change his body, but he can copy their abilities and strengths. So imagine if you put the Mimic Tier in front of him. The Mimic Tier will just mimic him and be a god immediately, because by the end of the arc, once again spoilers alert, Garo becomes an evil god. So yeah, Mimic Tier, hell, maybe if you put the Mimic Tier in front of the Elden Beast, he will copy him and become an Elden Beast. Hell, maybe he can even combine the abilities of multiple gods. So we have the Elden Beast of Rot or something like that. We now come to the end of the video. So tell me in the comments whether you agree with everything I said or some of it, or if you don't agree with anything at all. And once again, there were a lot of assholes, like I said in the intro, but this video was made for fun, so I hope you had fun watching it, like I did making it. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of the good stuff. And see you guys later. Also, don't spoil whatever comes after Garo because I haven't read it yet.